Every financial mistake you've ever seen that didn't make sense usually had nothing to do with intelligence. It had everything to do with time. People panic in moments that don't matter. They ignore moments that matter deeply. They argue past each other while talking about entirely different clocks. This module is where most people's understanding of money permanently changes, because once you understand time, you stop being emotionally hijacked by the present. Most people think finance is about money. It isn't. It's about when. Time is the invisible variable inside every financial decision, and if you don't name the clock you're operating on, the decision will name it for you. Here is Sovereign Shift 1. Two people can look at the same situation, make opposite decisions, and both be correct. The difference is not intelligence. The difference is time horizon. One is thinking in days. One is thinking in years. One is thinking in decades. Most financial stress comes from mixing these up. This is why advisors often sound calm when clients are panicking. They are not smarter. They are just on a different clock. Calm is not confidence. Calm is alignment with time. So the second step of the system is simple. Before you analyze anything, ask one question. What clock am I on? That's it. To make this usable immediately, we simplify time into 3 clocks. Now, later, much later. No charts, no formulas, no jargon, just alignment. The now clock is short-term, bills, unexpected expenses, urgent obligations. The later clock is mid-term, career moves, education, large purchases, major transitions. The much later clock is long-term, wealth building, retirement, generational outcomes, freedom from financial pressure. Most financial pain comes from applying the wrong clock. Short-term emotion applied to long-term systems creates panic. Long-term thinking applied to short-term problems creates neglect. Neither is intelligence. Both are misalignment. Here is Sovereign Shift 2. Most of what you see every day is designed to live on the now clock. Headlines, notifications, market alerts. And in 2026, it's not just the news. It's the algorithm. The algorithm is a trigger engine. Its job is not to inform you. Its job is to capture attention by pulling you into the now clock. Fear, outrage, urgency, excitement. That's how feeds work. Once you see that the algorithm lives almost entirely on the now clock, its power weakens. You stop confusing noise with importance. This is why Step 2 has immediate power. It does not tell you what to do. It tells you what not to react to. And that alone replaces a large portion of paid advice. Now we move into action. Action Step 1. From today forward, every financial thought gets labeled. Not solved, not judged, labeled. Ask yourself, is this a now problem, a later problem, or a much later problem? If you don't know, you pause. Unlabeled decisions are where mistakes hide. Action Step 2. Check alignment. Ask, am I feeling urgency for something that belongs to much later? If yes, you slow down. Ask, am I ignoring something urgent because it feels uncomfortable? If yes, you bring it forward. This step alone prevents panic selling, reckless spending, and delayed action. Here is Sovereign Shift 3. Most advisors are not paid for superior predictions. They are paid to keep clients on the correct clock. When markets drop, advisors say, "This is a now event. Your plan is much later." That single sentence is worth thousands of dollars to someone in a hot state. You are now learning to say it to yourself. Action Step 3. Begin building your Sovereign Veto. Open a document. Title it, My Investment Policy Statement. This is not a legal document. It is a thinking document. You are going to write one do for each clock, not just a list of don'ts. This is important. For the now clock, write one thing you always do, for example. Now, I do pay my insurance. Now, I do keep cash for real emergencies. This grounds you in responsibility. For the later clock, write one thing you do. Later, I do invest in my skills. Later, I do plan major decisions slowly. This protects your future flexibility. For the much later clock, write one thing you do. Much later, I do ignore the daily market ticker. Much later, I do not make long-term decisions in short-term fear. This protects your sovereignty. Now add one final section. What decisions am I not allowed to make in a hot state? Selling long-term assets during panic. Taking risks I do not understand because of urgency. Making permanent decisions during temporary stress. And finally, what must be true before I override this document? Time passing. New information. Calm review. This document is your veto. When emotion rises, you don't negotiate with yourself. You consult the document. That is exactly what advisors do for their clients. You are learning to do it yourself. Here is the deeper truth. Most people don't lose money because they made bad plans. They lose money because they abandoned good plans at the wrong time. Time awareness prevents that. Here is the line that defines sovereignty. In the financial world, most people lose because they trade their much later security for now comfort. By mastering the clock, you are no longer the victim of the market. You are performing temporal arbitrage. You are buying calm while others are panic selling it. That is sovereignty. By the end of this module, you should feel something different. Not excitement. Distance. Distance from noise. Distance from urgency. Distance from algorithm-driven pressure. That distance is clarity. You now have a way to label decisions, a way to align emotion with time, a sovereign veto that replaces paid reassurance. You are no longer guessing. You are governing. In the next module, we add the final layer. We will learn how to identify who benefits from your decisions. Because once you control triggers and time, the next threat is hidden incentives. And learning to see those completes the shift from customer to architect. When you're ready, continue to Module 3.